All right, welcome everybody to the Connection Hangout. My name is Paul Tyra, and I am joined by my co-host in Atlanta, Georgia, David Asarno. David, are you there?
I am, Paul. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Man, it's actually raining out here in Vegas. It's about 81 degrees, nice and cool. What's it like over there in hot Atlanta?
We've been in the 90s and raining and very high humidity. My son loves it, though.
Really?
Yeah, he loves the heat and humidity.
He loves the heat and humidity, right? I like doing that too when I'm out there running, sweating and everything.
You sweat much faster, I got to tell you that.
Exactly.
All right, welcome everybody.
Oh, let me see. I think we've got another Hangout window here open. Apologize real quick here.
Atlanta, Georgia, David.
Giving us a loop here. at least you know what causes that nowadays.
Yes, we do.
All right, we're joined by Brent Brooks out there too. He should be moderating the comment thread. So if you would like to chime in, just say hi, where you're viewing from. We'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and type in down there. This is not a business presentation or product training seminar. So if you'd like more specific information on ASEA or Renew 28, I'd encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to be on this Hangout, and they can point you in the right direction. Some of you may also see a button that does say more info underneath your screen, and if so, you can click on that after we're done, and it will provide you with more information on ASEA and Renew 28. Okay, what I'd like to do now, without further ado, is turn it over to David Asarno there to bring on our guest for this evening. David, it's all you.
Thanks, Paul. Well, tonight we are doing something that we have not done before. We have our first live public ASEA Hangout. You know why? Because we are broadcasting live from the University of Utah Library. We've got Spencer Bertrand. He's the Executive Support Account Manager. Now, Spencer is the oldest of 5 children. He lived in Rome, Italy for 2 years and speaks fluent Italian. He's currently studying business and studying at the University of Utah. He also is an assistant high school basketball coach. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Spencer Bertrand.
I'm from the library. You can see the books behind me.
Well, we know it because eventually we're going to, like we did before in our pre-show, we saw a lot of people walking back and forth.
That's right.
Hey, we're just growing so fast at ASEA, we have to expand out to public libraries now to host our customer service department.
It is cool, and it is a public hangout. So Spencer, besides hanging out and studying, which what were you doing just prior to ASEA?
Before I was working at ASEA, I actually was cleaning carpets with one of my friends in the hometown. My parents lived just outside Salt Lake City. Super fun, cleaning people's carpets. You get to see some crazy messes. So,
so let's talk a little bit more about that. You came to ASEA because of your language speaking skill set. How did that all play, and how did you get connected that way?
My aunt was actually looking for a job on one of those job service places, and she saw that ASEA was looking for someone that spoke Italian. She said, "You should apply." And I said, "Okay, I'm kind of done cleaning carpets. I don't really need these messes anymore." It worked out perfectly because right when I joined I think it was 2 months before we had the grand opening in Italy. I actually got to go to that with Karen and Jerem and Vertus and all those guys, and so that's how I got started. Just right before we opened Italy and really before we opened all of Europe. So I've been in since the beginning, basically.
Right, I remember seeing you there in Rome. That was fantastic. I didn't realize your story there. So you really didn't have any formal customer service per se training. It was mainly the skill set of speaking Italian that got you in the door.
Yeah, more. I've worked before that. I worked at Old Navy and PacSun as the assistant store manager, and I worked at a ski resort in Salt Lake City where I did a lot of customer service type things. Like people would say, "Well, how do you get to this lift, that lift?" I was kind of a snowboard junkie, so.
Got it.
Well, you live in a good place for that.
That's right. Just up the mountain, just 20 minutes from here.
Let's go ski Alta. So you've been with ASEA now for about 2.5 years. Love to hear why you feel that ASEA is such a great company to work for.
Oh, that's a question I get asked a lot, actually. The one thing that I think that's real cool about ASEA is just the growth opportunity, not just outside of the company with the distributors and the Renew that we just brought out, but really inside the company, there's a lot of room for growth. We're always growing. I know Chuck and Jeremy were talking a lot about the infrastructure, and it's just getting bigger, and that has to do a lot with the internal people. A lot of the people that we hired for different departments and stuff actually come from within ASEA, and so we already know what's going on with the company. So I love that part.
Fantastic. And so let's talk a little bit more specifically about your department there. You guys have now been referred to as the Blue Ops team. Can you explain who would qualify to receive your type of support and more specifically what you guys do?
Yeah, so what we do is we're mainly for those that qualify for Diamond, Paid, or Lifetime rank for Diamond, Double Diamond, Triple Diamond for now. So as soon as you get to that rank of Diamond, we get you your own personal phone number that gets to me and my team. We have the email inbox that we get to us. It's pretty much just instead of sitting waiting on hold sometimes when we get those really busy days, we get right to us, and we'll usually have all the answers.
Super.
So if you could pick one or two of the most frequently asked questions, along with the answers, what would they be?
You know, we actually talk about this a lot with my team because that's, we kind of want to stay in front of everything. One of my buddies, Nate Hollingshead, who works on my team, we actually talked about this 2 days ago, I think. One thing that we really think that's important that we get a lot of questions on is the whole AAA. Qualifications, what you need as far as what it actually is, especially with this new change where you have to have 600 volume on each level. The one thing that I really want to point out to that a lot of people are kind of maybe, that have the question on it, is that the volume is actually auto ship group volume. It's not, I place an order in my account, it counts for this. It has to be from an auto ship. And the one thing that we really need to, point out that's important is that if you have an auto ship, it's a new one, it has to be done 2 days before the day you want to ship out. So we couldn't do it like on the very last day of the month. That was a problem we ran into when we first started the AAA, where it was new, and so we were kind of teaching people that our system doesn't allow you to set up an auto ship the day of. It actually takes 2 days, just the way we do everything in the virtual office the way that everybody else does. So that's where the limitations come from. Another one that we get asked all the time, especially on my team, is rank qualification. What you need to get to different ranks, and it's kind of a vague question, but the best thing that I use with that is the bonus qualification report in the virtual office. I find that to be the most easy way to figure out what you need specific for a specific rank. And one thing that I like to point out that a lot of people don't know is on that specific rank, the qualification report, there's a little thing that looks like a graph. If you click on that, it drops down and actually shows you more information on stuff you need, like Director 300 you need. So I love that report.
That's great. That's fantastic. And speaking of which, we're like in the 20th day of the month right now, so it's now a really good time, for people to start looking, like you said, at that AAA qualification, because like Spencer said, don't wait till the very last day because they won't process in time. It's really the key message there. Awesome. All right. What else? I mean, anything else with regards to some of the inbound questions, or you got any wacky things that come to mind?
Actually, my mom, funny or not, she asked me if she could put the Renew in her eye, and I said, "Mom, why would you want to put gel in your eye?" So, I know a lot of people will put the ASEA in because it's more like a tear basically. But I was like, why would you want like all this gelatinous stuff in your eyes, Mom? You're not gonna be able to see.
But along that lines, I mean, we got kind of a memo, if you will, to tell people not to eat the Renew 28. Did you still getting questions about that? Yeah,
we get questions. I don't know how many of you guys were at a convention, but I remember there was one of the guys from he's actually from Portugal, and he said he was eating the gel. I'm like, oh, that's not going to be good for your insides.
That's funny. All right. So on a more recreational note, it looks like you're pretty much in everything outdoors related, whether it's sports related or climbing, rock climbing to, I think I saw, of course you mentioned snowboarding and all that good stuff, but it seems like baseball seems to be your passion. And we had Sandy Mott on this show one week, and we shared a picture of her being dunked. Now, am I correct in saying that that was you that put her in that tank?
Guilty. That was me. Guilty as charged.
So tell me, what was that like? Was that pretty easy for you, or what? Pretty easy target?
Well, I'd already dunked one person before, and I had only threw the ball twice, and I dunked two people. So the funny thing is Sandy was sitting up there in the dunk tank, and just kind of people would come up and throw, and she's like, "Come on, guys, I don't want to go in at all." And they were getting really close and throwing, and I was standing at the very back of everybody, probably I don't know how far back. And I just walked up and said, "Sorry, Sandy," like this. And she automatically goes like this, and I just take one throw, and poof, she drops.
And you know, she was saying you also work with a lot of kids and stuff, and like maybe like a pitching kind of coaching role and things like that. What's that like?
Yeah, I actually have a brother who'll be 13 next month. So we're 15 years apart, and so we actually worked a lot with him on baseball and stuff from when he was little. So I got to know the community, the baseball community in our town pretty well, as far as all the coaches, the players. So I coach, I help out Little League stuff. With the high school, being the assistant baseball coach, I do mostly, I'm the pitching coach, really. So I work a lot with the pitchers, mechanics and stuff, all that. It's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
So, Spencer, in closing, you have an opportunity to communicate on a daily basis with the most successful ASEA associates. I'm curious, from your perspective in dealing with so many of them, what are the common characteristics that you see amongst our most successful associates that has enabled them to achieve their high level of success?
You know, one thing I noticed about everybody I talk to is it's real colloquial. I mean, it's not so much rigid, this is what we're doing here and there. They're real people. You know, they're not robots making millions of dollars. But one thing I do realize about all of them that they have in common is that they all have a specific goal on what they want to do. They all call in kind of with a game plan. They know what they'll get from me. I know what I'll get from them as far as questions and stuff. And we're always on the same page. And I love the fact that they know where they want to go, not so much just with their company, not with ASEA, with their organization, but as far in their life. They know exactly what they want to do, which is really great for me because they're great examples to me. I know I help them out. I help them out a lot. But as far as talking to them and seeing the things that that they're doing outside of ASEA, big example to me. I love that.
Awesome, thank you.
Is there anything you could recommend for some of our viewers out there as they're calling in that might be helpful on the associate support side, or might make the whole experience more expeditious?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said with the diamonds, obviously have a game plan. That's one thing that I've learned even just working customer service. When I'll call somebody that I need help with, I usually kind of have what I want to do in that call, and then always opening to listen to what they have to say. But as far as with the ASEA, one thing that I really notice is have your ID number. That always helps out really easy. And then we can get your information quick and get what you need in and out, and you're done. But one thing I kind of do want to point out is that we've been growing a lot in the associate support department. There are some new faces. There's a lot of people that I'm not real close with yet because they're so new. And so everybody's going to have problems. They're probably not going to be real understanding here and there. But as long as everybody's comfortable with knowing that everybody's new, even the new associates and stuff, that probably makes it better than anything.
Awesome. And so they still cycle you into like Italian queue, and do you still do support for?
Actually, right now I'm the only one that speaks Italian at the company, so I've got the whole Italian market going as well as the normal stuff I do.
Oh wow! Fantastic, fantastic. All right, well, thanks so much, Spence, for taking time out of your busy schedule, as well as right there being in the library, joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on, guys. I enjoyed it. Sandy said how much she liked it, and so this was awesome.
And we got the picture there. We got the donkey, we got the dunker, the donkey. So now we got a complete picture. Awesome. All right. Also want to thank my co-host there in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks, David, so much for always doing such a phenomenal job on our Connection Hangout.
And let's give a huge applause for Paul Tyra, because all the work that you do to get our guests, to set everything up, to run technical support and everything. So let's give you a hand.
And I got to also thank Sue Brenchley out there, because she does help to line up all the guests. It's a tough thing to get, coordinate with everyone's schedule. And they're out tonight doing a Renew 28 party on the East Coast. So shouts out to Foster and Terry Malmed, Dr. Joe and Pilar, even Mike Mallory's out there. I know they're having fun. They're posting some pics up there on their Facebook page. So and this weekend is going to be the East Coast base camp. And so what we're going to do next week is we are going to have guests that attend this base camp to share their experience, both from the West Coast, from the East Coast, so that you guys know exactly what goes on at base camps and why you want to shoot to be there. So be sure to tune in again next week. I also want to thank Brent Brooks for moderating our comment thread. Again, we appreciate his efforts every week for tuning in. And again, if you just want to chime in right beneath here, go ahead and type in some comments. We'd love to hear from you. Looking forward to, again, seeing everyone next week in the same time slot. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your evening, rest of the week, and I'll see you later. Take care, everybody.
I'll see you later.